Don't mind me, I haven't been long got up and I'm in my jammies. So, um, anyway, I've had so many people ask me what the Whole30 is that I decided to make a quick reference video I could shoot them because it's kind of hard to usually, I can't type all that out between text or Facebook Messenger. So, I'm going to try to make it kind of short and sweet and simple if I can. Um, to begin with, you don't necessarily have to buy a book. You can find a lot of things online, and a lot of things on Pinterest. So, and also if there's something you don't know if it's Whole30 compliant, you could always Google it and it usually pops right up. So, anyway, the Whole30 is an elimination diet. It is not necessarily for weight loss, though you will probably lose weight. And because there's so many food groups that people consume that they don't know that they have issues with because they have never eliminated it for a significant amount of time. So these things are including dairy, legumes, so peanuts are legumes, peas, beans. You can have green beans or snow peas because they're in the pod. See, sugar, and even things that I would consider decent or healthy, like honey or even stevia, any kind of sugar or sugar alternative. Period. So the only thing you will be using to sweeten your food with is fruit, basically fruit and fruit juices, or like dates, stuff like that, because that is a whole food. See, legumes, sugar, dairy, grains, so rice, quinoa, bread, wheat, all that stuff. Alcohol, preservatives. So that's the one that kind of gets me tripped up, and you'll have to look at what in certain additives in foods. So I'm telling you, anytime I'm like, I'm not sure if that's compliant or not, I literally hold my little button down. I said, okay, is cornstarch Whole30 compliant? And it'll tell you. Usually it just pops up. So cornstarch is not Whole30 compliant, just FYI, because corn is considered a grain. And so, and also refined oils. So you're going to want to stick with things like avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee. So you can't have, I usually use grass-fed butter, but you can't have dairy. So ghee is the next best thing, because ghee is basically butter with all the milk fat taken out, and it's really good. So it's just kind of expensive. And you can get as fancy or as simple as you want with this. A lot of times I have used canned turnips, canned green beans, a lot of stuff in the can. And I just take a piece of bacon. And by the way, your processed meats usually have sugar in them, or dextrose, any kind of word that looks like sugar or is sugar, it's got it in there. And so I go to Publix and I get Mavericks bacon. It's really not more expensive, that much more expensive than what you would get in regular bacon, but it doesn't have sugar, and the quality of the pork is a little bit better. It's kind of thin, so it's not great for eating by itself. I'll go ahead and tell you that, but it's great for cutting up a slice or two, sauteing it, and then I throw my turnips in there or my green beans, and that is some of the best turnips and green beans I've had, and it's really simple. I don't add anything but salt to it. Of course, I may add some Crystal's hot sauce to my turnips, but anyway, but that's compliant. And so you can people tend to overcomplicate things. It does not have to be complicated, and it can be very, very good. Of course, it depends on what you're used to eating, and if you like eating good food or healthy food. I personally have always enjoyed eating like vegetables and stuff, so it doesn't bother me. My food there's been a few times where I've had some Pinterest fails, and they're very disappointing, but trying to think. I think I've covered a lot of the basics. Publix and Walmart, and I'll add a few things or give you a few recommendations for. I do spend a little more money on getting sauces. I make my own mayonnaise because most mayonnaisers are not compliant. You can get mayonnaise that is compliant at Publix, but it tends to be kind of expensive. But it's so easy to make your own. Literally in a minute, you just need an immersion blender in a wide mouth jar. You can fit the immersion blender in, unless you want to put it in an actual blender. But then you have to move it from the blender to the container, and that's just messy. So, I mean, it's Dijon mustard, mayo, or not mayo, Dijon mustard, eggs, avocado oil is what I use, and like lemon juice. It's really easy, and it tastes good. And I use that to make chicken salads or whatever, or make dressings. I think I've covered the basics of it, but you're not counting calories. Um, you're not carb counting. You're not portion controlling. You're just eating really good food. And it's also a mindset change where they encourage you or discourage you from making Whole30 junk food. So, like donuts. I made zoodles the other night, so that's fine because really the taste and the texture is not the same, but you can make Whole30 donuts that taste like donuts. So anyway, I think my video is about to cut me off. So if you have any other questions, let me know. There is more information I could give you, but that's just the simple gist of it. And that's about it.